All right, welcome to tent comparison. We have how many? 14, 15?
I can't count that. I don't have that
ton
many
of
fingers.
tents. We've actually went tent broke. Actually, we got a bunch of tents from all of our buddies, put them all together. We're gonna go through every single one of them. We're gonna talk about what brand they are. We're gonna talk about their weight. That's gonna be listed right here.
Yeah, cost.
Maybe here.
Yeah, we'll throw up cost, weight, all those stats, if they still make them anymore. The goal of this is we're gonna do front country and back country. So we're gonna start with front country. If we're camping by the truck.
Define front country first too. Like
camping by the truck. Like not having to carry your equipment more than 100 yards, I would say.
Front country. Okay, we're gonna do front country and back country. As you know, kind of swing behind you there, Chase. That's gonna be my front country tent, okay? I bet I've spent
more nights in this than anything else here.
Any of the tents here, probably combined, maybe. I don't know. So I've slept in this hundreds probably of times. And
I would say more than that.
Yeah, lots. Super simple. I run it now on a cot because this isn't something that you're gonna pack in. It's got a pad inside of it. So you're not gonna backcountry.
Yeah, this isn't really your backcountry. It's just kind of an in-between. And what we do, honestly, like especially on winter hunts, even if we're in a big wall tent, we bring these because you zip this thing up and it adds another 15 degrees easily. And the other thing is it just has a bedroll inside of it. So if nothing else, this canvas doesn't take up any room, but it comes with a memory foam bedroll. And so that's just another thing we like to have on top of the cots. They don't squeak. It's that much more comfortable. And then this canvas is waterproof. So we've also slept in the rain under our trucks, just in these fully zipped up.
And they also have, as you can see behind me on the next one, we're going to show you right here. It's a dome thing. These things come with them too. So
yeah, to get it up off your face.
Yeah.
None of us really do that.
I don't like it. Just because. Yeah. I just go with it. Earplugs, Chase. I mean, you ever need those? When you snore. I never snored. I've never snored.
But that's a canvas cutter. It takes up, you know. It's not small. It's like a memory foam bedroll that you roll up. And two, what we do is like, I leave my sleeping bag and pillow in there.
Everything.
And it takes up more room. But if you have a full-size bed, you're not trying to really like nitpick. If you're just like day-to-day truck camping somewhere different every time, this is the absolute way to go. If you're comfortable sleeping on the ground, sleeping outside, that type of thing.
On any trip we go in, usually all of us have one of these in the trailer. Yeah. Like the trailer that we're pulling. That way if we have to just do a quick 4 hours, get some sleep, throw them out underneath the pickup, get up, keep going. It's pretty simple. So these things, they're awesome. So this is Canvas Cutter's bivy sack. So it's got the poles like the regular Canvas Cutter. That also comes with the poles, but this kind of keeps everything up off your face, keeps the rain from getting on you.
Condensation too.
This thing's light. I mean, it's not heavy at all.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk backcountry, this is almost as minimal as it gets. Like a bivy sack, it's literally just to make your sleeping bag waterproof. If you're claustrophobic, you're not gonna like it. If you don't want to put your pack in it, but I mean,
if you're staying out for more than one night in the rain and
But for the ultra lightweight guys, and there's so many people that do it.
Oh yeah,
this is the way to go, and they're a lot cheaper generally than a tent system. You can pick up a bivy sack for a lot cheaper, or even if it's not raining, it will add a couple degrees to your sleep setup.
And that's the way a lot of us started, back kind of in the bivy sack boom. That's a tick, hopefully.
It's not there.
Tick? Child. So when we started, like that was the, man, if you're not in the backcountry, you got to get back in there, and the bivy sacks were a thing. Like it was what bivy sack you got? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And the tents have come a long ways since then. And I'm not talking a long time ago because I'm not that old, am I?
You're pretty old.
Kind of old. So, but yeah, this was kind of the Taj Mahal back then. If you were bivy hunting, you are the real deal.
Yeah, and as we get to these backcountries, we're gonna kind of like grade them a little bit differently.
Yeah.
As far as weight goes, you're not gonna find anything lighter. As far as space in your pack, you're not gonna find anything lighter. As far as efficiency of setup goes, you're not gonna find anything quicker. So I mean, like as far as the efficiency scale, it's really high. Comfort scale for me personally, really low.
Oh, if you had to, so when we're hunting and filming and everything, and there's times that it's raining so hard we can't film, so we can't hunt. Yeah. You're sitting in this for a day and a half.
That's the other thing. Yeah. Yeah.
You might have to have a deck of cards with you or something.
A mini deck.
Mini deck. So
first in the backcountry lineup, super light, pretty affordable. And then we're just kind of going to slowly work our way up in the backcountry lineup.
All right. So first of our start up the lineup of backcountry wall tents. This is a North Face. I'm not kidding you. I got this as a marriage gift. So that was 22, 24. Sorry, honey. 23 years ago. And
yeah,
it was old. It was used then.
I'm only 4 years older than this tent.
I bet you're not actually, but yes.
But the reason we brought this one is because it's a really good option. Like if you're wanting to get into backcountry hunting, you want to just go do it. Just like we talked about the other things. You got $100 to spend on a tent, get on Facebook Marketplace, get on Craigslist if that's still a thing,
yes.
and find one that you can fit in. It's not going to be the lightest option. It's not going to be the newest. It's not going to be the flashiest, but it's going to get you in the backcountry, and it'll do the same thing as those, really.
Our whole motto, right?
Yeah.
Get out there. Just get out there. Bag tags, not gear. This is a great option. It's got a rain fly as well. We didn't put it on, obviously, just to show you the tent. Yeah. But it is. It's a front. The thing is real rough.
Front
unless
entry.
You are 22 years old at the time. You can, front entry. You can just kind of burrow in there and then turn around if you can. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's not as. It's a little more rudimentary than some of the others.
Yeah, but I will say, like, it is freestanding. That's something we talk about all the time. You don't truly need stakes. It's obviously, if you're in it, it's not going to blow away. I mean, it's just a super simple, easy option.
I think a way to get into this too is like, all right, break it down. What gear are you going to take? Like how much gear, how much of a footprint are you going to have when you get out there to where you have enough to where if it does start getting really nasty, you can stay dry and you can keep your stuff dry and be safe. So
yeah,
that's why I like some of these other options. I will show you like some of my favorite. I have a choice that I have. I'm sure Noah's got a choice that he has. But we're just showing you all of them and just see where you lie. You might be totally different.
And for a one-person tent, the other thing to really consider is even if you're not filming like us, like a huge thing we rely on is keeping our camera gear warm if a rainstorm does come. This tent, you can sleep one person, your backpack and boots, because that's something you also have to consider is keeping that backpack and those boots dry. If you're doing a jet boil meal at night, you want to do it in your tent if it's raining. And I will say, like, it would be cramped, but there is enough room to do that in this one.
You can.
For a one-person tent.
You can.
Next step up the line, a slightly newer, basically version of this.
All right, this is going to be my tent choice. This is what I use. This is what I've used for years and years and years. This is the Copper Spur HVUL2, I believe, isn't it?
Big Agnes is the brand.
Big Agnes, yeah. Big Agnes makes it. And there's a few different ones. Like if you look over here, the Nemo.
Very similar.
It's a very very similar tent.
Very similar in weight, pretty similar in price point. But let's talk about what makes, this is technically a two-person tent, but the backpacking rule of thumb is a two-person tent is a one-person tent with gear.
It is a fact. Yeah. And what makes this the tent that of my choice is the double vestibles. So I can not only, I can get in this.
That bad boy. So a vestibule in layman's terms is basically like a porch, a covered porch.
Yes.
Right?
So I have still a bottom to my tent. I am the person. I don't want to sleep on the ground. It's just not my forte. It's just something I don't like.
Bugs. And the bottom just means it's fully enclosed. Correct. So you're not on a ground cloth, anything else.
Correct. And so, and I can set this thing up, literally done it numerous times, set it up in just a couple minutes when it starts just pouring down rain and you got to get in something.
And the other cool thing, like talking about like cold, if it's rainy, your hands are cold. This is a one-piece tent pole system to where there's no way you can put the poles anywhere wrong. So you just put all the poles together,
and they're colored,
put them in the four corners, and then you clip these on and you're done. So if you're wearing gloves, your hands are cold, this one is very conducive to that. And
on top of all of that, so the double vestibles, what I was saying is you've got your own sleeping quarters, which is actually pretty good size in there. It's not, it's bigger than, it's going to be bigger than any of these like single man stuff because it is a 1.5 man, if you will. But then I've got my pack on one side. I got my boots on the other side. You know what I mean? So at night I can get, okay, I need my meals. It's over here. I need this. It's over on this side. It's very, very user friendly as far as I'm concerned. And for the weight that it is, I've spent, you know, like I said, when it was pouring down rain, a day and a half in this thing by myself, just waiting the rain out and just been super comfortable. Yeah. And we have two more tents that are super similar to this. We're kind of breaking up the backcountry tents in two, kind of aspects, and one like this that's fully enclosed, full floor, double vestibule. It's still a very light tent and very packable, but it's not going to be as light or as packable as some of the other options. But what you're losing in space and weight, you're gaining in comfort, I would say. Yeah. So it's just about what's worth it to you. This is a Nemo. It's technically a two-person. I think this one's called the Bike Pack Dragonfly.
Dragonfly bike pack. So we have the 2-person version of this, and we'll also go through the 3-person version. It's really like very, very similar engineering wise to the Big Agnes. It's one pole that all clicks together. I think I put the Rainfly on inside out, but it's very similar in size, maybe a touch taller. And I'll compare the 2 weights of these two because they're very similar, and the 2 price points of these two, because I would say they're pretty much equally a good option. There might be a little bit of trade-offs between the two to figure out which one's best for you. But it's same deal. I will say this one only has 1 zipper on the Rainfly that opens. First thing I noticed, but the actual tent zipper, full wraparound, double vestibules, works good for, like Trent said, I put my pack on one side, boots on the other, then I put camera gear inside with me. And it's kind of the same as that one. So if it is super rainy or cold, it's super easy to set up. Everything clicks in. There's only one pole system. So very, very similar to the Big Agnes, but I'll put a side-by-side comparison of the two, the stats of all of them right here. So if you are looking for something, we would really recommend something in this category, and you can kind of pick which one's right for you.
There we go. And
all right, this is similar to the last Nemo we just showed you. It's actually the same tent, but this one's a 3-person. So it's a Dragonfly 3-person. Same exact configuration, same setup time. But I will say, like, we're talking about 2-person backpacking tents or like a 1-person with gear. If you were going to go with 2 people and you're close to the other person you're going with, if it's a man, this would actually work as a 2-person tent. Or if you're with your wife going on a backpacking trip, this is something that's not very heavy that you alone could carry and be a really good option, honestly.
And still, when they say 2-person, it's like 1 3/4.
Yeah, and that's where this is 3, and it's like...
Unless you're Noah, and then it's like, okay, you could have 3 of him.
Yeah.
But if you're a man, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Might work. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's got some size to it.
Or if you're someone, I'll post a comparison between this and the 2-person too, size-wise and weight. So if you're someone who really just wants the comfort or has a ton of gear, maybe a rifle, camera gear that they're trying to keep dry on a later season hunt, this might be a great option for that, for just a 1-person.
Or just for like camping at the lake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With friends or something like that.
Yeah.
That might not be I mean, it's a little bit more weight. It kind of goes into the first tents that we talked about a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a bad option at all.
Moving on.
This brings us to a little bit of higher line.
Yeah, this is like your most efficient backcountry stuff for 1 and 2-person. This is the Seek Outside Silex with the Nest. So they kind of do a 2-part system to where if you're someone who doesn't want like the ground cover, or just wants to pack Tyvek or ground cloth, you can actually just have this tarp system that you can use on trekking poles or with their carbon fiber poles.
So this is separate.
Yeah, it's a 2-piece configuration. So if you get both of them, it kind of compares to the same as like some of the Nemo tents we looked at. Or you can run it like if it's fair weather, you're probably not going to get inches of rain. You can run it basically just like the tarp system with a ground cloth and just using your trekking pole. So this is super, super lightweight, super compressible, a little higher in price point.
Pretty versatile though. I mean, it could be summer or winter.
Yeah, I mean, everything about this one is saving weight. Like there's not even zippers, right? So they actually have a string line system that you can tighten and tension with these locking slides, and that's it. So, I mean, everything here is about saving weight, efficiency, and water sealing.
One thing I did want to mention, and I think it's Seek Outside makes this one. You can do a bunch of different, we used to do Tyvek, just go to old construction sites or something like that and cut some Tyvek off of, not the building, but off of, some of their used stuff. But this is just ground cloth, and it's super strong, it's waterproof, and it makes a better foot. So if you're in stuff like, obviously we're on, in grass right now, but if you're in some sticks and everything and you don't have time to clear everything out, put down some ground cloth because you're going to be poking. A lot of times you can poke through this kind of stuff.
Not only that, or if you're running this one just as the tarp system without the nest, you can do that under your sleep system. Yeah. If it does rain, it's going to keep you a little drier, but nothing will keep you as dry as a nest or a full standalone 1-piece tent. So the next 2 tents are also from Seek Outside, and they're kind of the similar system, so we'll run through that, but different options.
This is the next up?
Yes, this is the Seek Outside Sunlight. It is a 2-person, and I would say it's probably a fair 2-person. Same kind of system, no zippers. What I really like about this one, comfort-wise, is it's not the Nest system, so it's actually built in your netting with your floor to the tent. And as you can see, the only thing holding this up is the trekking poles. This one's super light, it's roomy, and then like some of the other tents we like back there, it is dual vestibule, which is nice.
This is nice. It's got some on the back end here too, Chase. Check this out. So it's got just some vents that are already built into it, it looks like. And then this is the first time I've used the system. So it's just, you pull it down, it's just a one-way cord. Get it as tight as you want to where it runs off the rein, and then just pull that in cord. Downsides that I can just see a little bit, like it's not very big to get into. Like you're crawling on your hands and knees to get in there.
Yeah, I would say like most backcountry options.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be small.
But the zipper is full length. So the zipper goes from one corner all the way to the other one.
Oh, it does. Look here, Chase. So zipper will come all the way down so you can enter from both sides of the trekking pole. And just a kind of a crawl-in technique. It's big though in there. That's actually pretty darn big.
I would say it's a true two-person.
Yeah, it's pretty good size in there.
I mean, on the edge right here, there's enough for one other person, room, some gear on the end, and then obviously you have both vestibules. And this tent is very, very light, especially if you're utilizing your trekking poles. If not, you can get the carbon poles from them, which pack down to nothing. But yeah, this is a really good option.
Super lightweight. So I did a hunt with Jason Phelps and Nick Schmidt a long time ago, back in Land of the Free 1, if you remember right. We hunted Montana, me and Steve and Jason and Nick. And we had, I think they were Kafaru, I believe, like teepee style, and then a different long kind of tent like this. And they both had stoves in them. It was like negative, it was snow like that deep. It was really, really cold. That's kind of this option, right?
Yeah, this is like your backcountry winter option. It's 1 to 2 guys, but you're hunting in cold weather, but still backcountry. So it's kind of a hybrid in that way. It really sets up kind of the same as these two. It took me a little bit to figure out the first time, just with tensioning it. But I think as you do it, what I would recommend with any of these tents is don't set them up for the first time in the woods.
No.
Become familiar with them. Look at what in the package you need versus you don't need, extra stakes, whatnot. But this is the same deal. It'll work on 2 trekking poles. It's entries on both, like double vestibules.
So if you have your stove here, let me just ask questions as I go, right? That someone might need to know. Like, so you have your stove here, right? You're probably going to enter from that side.
I would say this would be like your firewood housing side.
Get everything, all firewood and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring this up only halfway.
I gotcha.
Maybe store your firewood, close this back down. That would be my thought. And then also it's going to dry out your firewood, because any firewood you get in the backcountry is not going to be that dry, obviously. And then it has the nest in there that is definitely an easy 2-person nest. Like 2 people fit in that one easy, just like this one.
You can feel all these seams are really sealed.
Yeah, and then they actually, what I like is they set seam sealer with the tents. So with a brush and stuff, so where you can do it over time. So you don't have to use the stove jack, but if you have a backcountry stove, this would be a great like late rifle hunt type tent for, 2 buddies going pretty deep.
So the other side, things to note, these are not freestanding. So
yeah,
put your stakes in. Get your trekking poles. Like these have the carbon fiber rods on these.
Just because we only brought 1 set of trekking poles.
But you can still pull this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you gotta put your time in for, just like Noah was saying. Like put these up in your yard,
especially
once, twice,
like
3
this.
times before you go out somewhere. And if it gets snowy. And it gets, it could get dangerous or something like that, and where you need shelter.
Yeah.
Know what you're doing before you get out there.
Especially an option like this, and by freestanding we mean you can't just pick it up and move it if it's unstaked, right? Like this one relies on stakes and friction. It's very sturdy, I will say. Like it's not going anywhere, but at the same time, like you have to figure out how to set it up and then practice with it so you are more efficient with it. And that's kind of the name of the game with like the ultralight backcountry stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so for the final installment, and we're in a different setting because we actually just got this tent, but we wanted to include it for a couple reasons. We're really excited about using it for winter hunts, and then also you can win this exact tent. It's the Cimarron 2.0. So Seek Outside actually just came out with it, so we picked one up, and it's wood stove compatible. That's the right word, right? So it's basically like a TP pyramid, 1 pole, with a bottom and everything, with a screen, and it's like a 4-person if you're not using the wood stove, or like a 2 to maybe 3-person on a winter hunt with the wood stove. So just because we're on a time crunch, we got to get back to the office so Trent doesn't yell at us. We didn't put the legs on the wood stove, but you get the picture. So it's actually a pretty big wood stove for like a backcountry deal. It's all titanium, fits into a little case, super light. This chimney, we haven't burnt the chimney in yet, which you're supposed to do, so that it kind of takes form, and each time it gets easier to roll up and to expand into the actual chimney. This like kind of tub floor just ties up to each corner, which I think two things: water runoff makes it completely waterproof, and then also just kind of saves a bunch of the draft. The cool thing is it doesn't have a full screen, as obviously that would get a lot heavier, but it has a screen on the doors. So on one side of the door, on each side, it has a screen. So if you wanted to set up like for airflow on a warm summer night or something, you can open up these and have a full screen on each side and then still be fully protected from the elements. So that part's pretty cool. This is definitely like our middle of the line, like we talked about before. Like, it's not like it is very ultralight for its size, but it's not like you're one person going into the woods on just like a 2-day thing. It's like, okay, maybe a longer extended stay or super cold weather and you need to bring a stove. It is light enough to where if like 2 or 3 people are staying in this in the winter for winter camping or a winter hunt, anything past like October 15th in the Rockies, basically, between 2 or 3 people, it'd probably equal out to the same weight as each of you carrying a small little bivvy, a bivvy tent, I guess, and obviously would end up a lot warmer. So it has this carbon fiber pole that it comes with in the middle. It's obviously too tall to use a trekking pole for. The stove jack seems like really good quality. It's really tight and actually helps secure the stove. And the whole tent, when staked down, is actually really, really solid. So there's actually a little QR code on the label, and that helped me a ton for setting it up. For anything like, not necessarily like freestanding, but one pull base, the thing I've learned is that like it's very, very geared around how you tension it, and it's not hard once you learn how, and their video really helps. Basically stretch it tight, let it kind of spring back to its natural form, stake it there, and then when I put the pole to its second highest setting, everything was just rock solid and wasn't falling over or nothing. So yeah, we're probably going to use this year on some of our later season hunts, and pretty excited about it. The cool thing is, so for the month of June and the month of June only, if you're subscribed to our t-shirt of the month, you can just imagine I'm wearing one. I'll kind of like put it on my body right now and it'll look almost real. If you subscribe to our t-shirt of the month, for the month of June, existing subscribers count. So as long as you just stay subscribed, or new subscribers, you're going to be automatically entered in to win this exact setup. So for $21.99, if you're subscribed to our t-shirt of the month, you get a brand new design to your door every month. And for the month of June, if you're just subscribed, you automatically get entered in to win this. So it's a super small pool, not a lot of money, and you're obviously getting a brand new t-shirt out of it for only $21.99, I believe. And as long as you stay subscribed, you get a brand new t-shirt to your door every month for the same cost. So first usage, this is just Ozark Trail 4-person. It's Will's. He takes it to fishing tournaments. Yeah, I mean, it was super cheap.
Couple cool things about this is you could probably go to any Walmart and get one.
Yeah, and that's the thing I always talk about. It's like just getting out, right? And so it's like Will does kayak fishing tournaments where it's just him. So it's super easy to set up late at night, get in it, keep you dry.
I think it's a great option for 99% of the people.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at it like getting into hunting, you have maybe $1,000 to spend. Don't spend $500 on a tent. No. You know? And if you really needed to, like the first backpacking trip I ever went on, we packed a 3-person Walmart like this, and it took up half my backpack, but we did it.
And it probably wasn't even this nice.
No. Yeah. This is the REI Grand Hut 4.
This is Chase's tent. Chase brought this, and Ashley, every single time I see him set it up, I'm like, man, that is nice. And
yeah, it's one-piece poles. They all go together.
Super simple. Yeah. It's great for you and your wife to camp because you can stand up in it.
Yeah.
That's a huge benefit.
I'm not very tall, but
no, you're not.
I can stand up in it. It's light, like if you're car camping, like you said, like if you're going somewhere you want to take your wife's car, or if you drive a small truck, it doesn't take up a lot of room.
No, it's a great tent. This is obviously it's got a rain fly and everything for it, correct, Chase? Yep. Okay. Yeah.
So, and if you're one guy with the base camp, you could fit a cook stove, your tote, your backpack, a cot, all your hunting gear inside of it, in and out of the rain. Doesn't take up much room, you know, if you're just weekend warrioring it up. No. And REI generally, like, their stuff is decently expensive, but like Chase was saying, he actually got this at a garage sale. REI will have, like, I think they call it the scratch and dent sale, where you can go and there's people lined up for blocks, but you can get good deals on stuff like this.
Correct. The other thing about REI, if you get your tents, I don't think at the garage sale you can, but if you get them new and it does rip or anything, you can take them back and they'll give you a new tent.
Yeah, and I think at REI membership too, you get like, I think it's like 10% back in points. So I mean, so I've bought like most of my headlamps through like points.
There's a lot of good things with this tent. Stand up, breathable, super awesome, comfortable. You can carry all your stuff in it. It's got a big footprint.
Yeah.
I like this tent for like just taking out of your rig and going and throwing.
This is the Bass Pro Shops Eclipse. This is actually one of my personal tents we bought back in COVID. I'm not even sure if they make it anymore, but they make a very similar one. And it's kind of that middle of the road. I think I picked it up for like, I want to say $250 or $300.
It's got a big footprint. Come on into my dojo here.
Welcome to MTV Cribs.
Yeah, so you could get 2 people with an air mattress, big whatever. You could get 4 people in here.
Yeah.
You could get a cook stove. You could get a
What I really liked it for
table.
is like late season, right? It's not going to be as warm. But what I've done is like Heath and I actually have taken this on 2-person hunts where we've done our cots on this side with our totes. And then like it's a late season hunt, so it's rainy, it's cold. And then in the front half of the tent, we had our cook area. We had 2 coolers, a table with a stove, and then everything was encapsulated. The bag's only this big, so it doesn't take up much room in your pickup. And it was good for that.
Keep your packs out of the weather and keep them dry.
So it's like if you're looking for something like maybe can't afford a wall tent yet, or don't want something that takes up that much room in the truck.
And so I think it goes with kind of, we need to mention too, at this point in your tent life, if you're getting something this big, you're going to want some heat probably. So this doesn't have a stove jack, but you know, you could have some sort of a burner, little buddy heater. Little buddy heater would be great. Something of that nature. So, I mean, there is these, like when you're getting to a certain size, heat's going to be an issue.
And I've done that with, you know, my family, with my wife and son. This is the tent that we always take when we just camp, because there's plenty of room. We put like a queen bed right here, dressers and everything. And you can get up, walk around, hang lights. You can stand up to get changed. And it's pretty solid for that. And that's what I'll run, you know, even in the summer, right? Where like, we're not used to running heaters, but you bring the whole family, run a heater at night. So.
Okay, so we are moving on up in the tent line here.
We're in the wall tent category now.
Big dogging. Now we're starting to get some leisure pleasure. So this tent here, you can tell actually, so you can see some remnants of the flood. I tried to rinse it off, but it's not normally tiger stripe like this, but
I kind of like it, blends in.
This is a 18-foot, 18 by 14 Salem tents is what this is called. This is our second one we've actually had from Salem Tents, and they've been fairly bulletproof. Couple of things that, as far as wall tents go, that I like about it is no rain fly. You notice it's one and done. And so the rain runs off that. We have had to reseal the seams before a couple different times, just because there is some leakage sometimes in that, but we have taken this thing up and put it away numerous.
Well, and the thing we haven't mentioned yet is like setup time. Wall tent setup time, this one's pretty hard to beat. It was like 20-25 minutes because there's no rain fly. And that's where we timed all these. And that one definitely saves some time.
So one other thing you're going to see is aluminum framing here. So it's not stainless, it's aluminum. So you're going to get a lot lighter frame with this. We've actually put this on horses. We've packed this tent in. If you just put it on a horse, it's pretty much that one horse is taken care of, but at the same time, you've got a huge place to stay. Other things, you can hang lights above it like we do. Generator run off of it, obviously. What was the other thing that I was thinking of with this tent? Oh, so one of the downfalls with this tent, as the next tent that you see is going to be a little different, is it's got color, right? So it's green. The last one we had was gray, dark gray. But you don't get your light like you do like a white tent.
But it's trade-offs, right? Like a midday nap, this is way better because it's darker. But the other factor is if it's hot out, this holds way more heat.
It does. So, I mean, it's kind of in the wintertime, it's got a really thick skin. So it holds way more heat that way too when you have a wood stove.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is also, over here, you got a stove jack. So we also have a wood stove for this. I didn't bring it up for this whole exercise, but anyway, a wood stove goes right here. You have plenty of room over here to actually stack wood and everything. And then you can sleep 5 people in here pretty comfortably with their gear. Okay, this is the big dog. This is the biggest tent that we own. It's one of the bigger tents I think are made.
I wouldn't want to go much bigger.
So our friends at the tent shop reached out to us and they said, hey, do you need a wall tent? And I never pass up a chance to get a wall tent. So they actually gave us this wall tent. Huge shout out to the tent shop. They do all different sizes. We'll label them in the description. They do everything from smaller tents to giant things like this. And this is a 16 by 24. Yeah. It's a big dog.
So, I mean, it's as wide as that one is about long, just about.
Correct.
I mean, and it's huge. And the thing I like is just, for foul weather, we've slept and cooked in here with like 8 guys before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
cool.
It takes up a lot of room. It takes 2 guys to move the tent poles,
it's
2
heavy.
guys to move the roll up.
It's heavy.
But it's nice.
I don't know what it weighs. We'll probably research that and list it, but it's heavy. But come on in. We got some room to spare here. Couple of things in a wall tent this size. One thing, when we put this up that we forgot to do, actually, and we got it all up, is you notice in the other wall tent we have lights all strung. Now you have to get on a cooler or something super precarious.
And on the tension and try to string it through.
It's not great. It's not great. So the other thing, this has a rain fly. So a regular tent and then also an extra giant rain fly. It's huge.
Yeah,
it's
so
bigger.
setup time,
it's bigger than the footprint even.
Yeah, setup time, this one's probably almost 2x that one.
Yeah. We did it in about an hour.
Yeah.
The other big thing with setup is if you know behind me, you see these 2 wraps of tape. So all the ridge poles have 2 wraps on them. And it's just electrician's tape that we used. And then all the side poles, if you know, all the side poles have 1 wrap of tape. And then the ridge pole has 1 wrap of tape. So it's kind of a way to set it up. And honestly, we've set it up, I don't know, half a dozen times already. We still get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, it's something where it's like, and the reason we do this is because when you get it, the first time you put it together is going to be the hardest. They might be cased separately, and so all the poles are separate. Right then and there is when we recommend, before you even know what that pole goes to, 1 stripe, 2 stripe, 3 stripe, whatever your variant is. And then next time you set it up and take it down, you can write that down in your notes, send it to all your hunting buddies, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
The other thing in that tent, we spray painted the inside. So all the ridge poles, they're blue. So you just spray paint the inside of the pole so it doesn't wear off over time. And then all the outside side poles are red. So color code them. But Chase had a great, before we just started this film on this tent, is send a picture to all your buddies that are ever going to borrow the tent, that are ever going to be hunting with you. Send a picture so someone's got it on their phone and we go, okay, this is right.
Yeah, just a key. 2 stripe ridge, 3 stripe, just legs, just whatever. Because all these, where it seems like it makes sense right now, when you dump all that whole thing out of the bag and they're all 1 or 2 inch different, it's so hard. And you're counting them and you can't even remember how many sections they're supposed to be. It's we struggle with it. So
another thing big about this tent is, if you notice, it's going to have 2 doors. Our other wall tent only had the 1 door on one end. This has 2 doors. Awesome for ventilation, for hot summer days, whatever you want to do, take a nap.
Or if you're cooking in here.
That's the other thing.
We've cooked in here in foul weather with it closed, and it turns into the meat shack.
And you don't want your cook on one end and then having to try to go by where you're cooking food and everything. So exactly. The 2 doors on something of this size are super nice.
Well, this is our final Frontcountry. This is pretty much as big as it gets. If they make them bigger, we don't own one yet.
Oh, we've went through all the tents that we could afford. So, no, thank you to Seek Outside for sending these. Big shout out. Thank you to the tent shop for sending that tent. All the rest, actually, I think we bought them all, guys. So we've actually spent some coin on these things. But hopefully that kind of gives you a rundown of just kind of get your feet wet. The biggest thing that we're trying to get back into is just really, really preaching. Get out there and do it. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter if you have a canvas cutter versus a tarp, a Snoopy tent or whatever. We should have set something like that up.
Yeah. I mean, if you have $400, $500, $600 to spend on an ultralight backcountry tent, great. If you have $100, there's something out there for you. I guarantee it.
I like Will's Ozark Trail. That is not a bad option for doing whatever you want to do. So anyway, just don't let this stuff holds you back, is what I'm saying. Try to get out there, try to just be like, you know what, even if I go for 1 or 2 nights, all right, let's take the weight, let's figure it out, let's try it. And then you're gonna just progress as you go.
Yeah, hopefully there's something in this video for everyone, between like you're just getting into it, you want to find something affordable, to okay, I've got my feet wet, I've hunted in the backcountry for 2-3 years, I'm ready to make an investment on one thing at a time, and hopefully this gave you some options for that.
Yeah, so you can do the backcountry thing. I'm gonna be sitting in this thing with the fire, okay, waiting for something to walk by.
gone.